Hey, welcome to All Things Baseball Podcast. This is episode
20.
Yeah, and we just had a great interview with Guillermo Matos. He's the nephew of Francisco Matos, who we did an interview with a few episodes back about his Major League Baseball career. And his nephew, Guillermo, he kind of announced his new job for the new year. He starts the new year with the Phillies. And we're really excited to share this with you.
Yeah, we had a great interview and excited for the listeners to hear it. Let's get into it.
Hey, everybody. So we are really pleased to have Guillermo Matos here. He's joined us on the podcast. We were introduced to Guillermo by Francisco Matos, his uncle, who Johnny and I have known for, I guess, 14, 15 years now, right? He coached you. He helped Johnny become a switch hitter. Johnny was a natural righty, helped him become a switch hitter. And he introduced us to you. And so welcome.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it for you guys bringing me here. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. So,
all right.
So we were just, I'll tell the audience here, we were just talking as we were setting up the podcast and getting ready. I just remembered that when Johnny and I had an indoor facility called Rocket City Swing Away in Huntsville in 2009 and 10 or 10 and 11, that Francisco worked out of the facility doing lessons, and he was working with someone that he introduced to us to, who he said was going to be, I guess you were trying out for the Yankees. It was you, and we didn't even know that we met you until literally 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was me, but I wasn't trying out with the Yankees. I already was a player.
You were already a player. Okay,
yeah, that was my sister with him. I went there, try to get what he got. As you guys probably know, it was, for me, he was my idol. I got a MLB uncle. I can say it. So
right.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's really is a really good proud family member. So my father sent me there to try to learn something about him, but in hitting wise, but I couldn't hit that well. So I got after next year, I got my release, but it was a really good experience. It was a really good experience.
Definitely.
So did you play for the Yankees in the foreign league? Tell us about that 1 year experience that you had before you went into working in the development side.
Well, I signed with the Yankees in 2009, like the end of 2009. Then when I got to the academy, that was a life changer for me because I never left my home. So realizing that I'm gonna keep like 6 or 9 months living in a different house, like I said, like in different country, not a country, but different place.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was my first challenge, I guess. It was my first challenge, leaving my family behind. But as a Dominican, being a pro baseball player is something that everyone want to become pro. So I was realizing I was living my dream. Like I say, I was a pro baseball player with one of the, I think, I'm still thinking that it is one of the hardest teams to sign with.
Right.
Who was with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, and I can appreciate that. After your career was over, you were like, "What do I do?" But it seems like you just went right into their academy and started developing all these development skills, like we talked about a little bit off camera. Like you went and did the what's it called, the ABLC and some other things. Tell us about that. How you went right into the Yankees academy.
Well, after my time with the Yankees, Like I always say that because it was like something different because I went from the Yankees academy. When I got released, I came to the school right away, like to the
Hmm.
university. So
Okay.
I started a career. I spent 4 years studying international business. After that, I started working in a bank. Like I have a big resume with
Okay.
before going back to the Yankees
Hmm.
You do.
as a
Okay.
staff member. And then I remember I was talking with a friend of mine who was a player too, and we start having a lot of release guys who start studying because that is not common. When you got released here, like the biggest percentage of the players just never study again.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's really hard for some of them, but I always have something clear in my mind. If I wasn't, if I can't make it, I can go and I have a different way. You
Right.
know,
Right.
that's when we start with the family, and after that, he taught me something about position as a video manager in the with the Yankees, but they were looking for somebody who speak English. He doesn't speak English, and I think, well, I learned something. I think I can do that. I just made a call to the academy director, and he say, okay, you got an interview tomorrow.
Wow.
Got my interview, and the rest is just we're here again.
Here again. Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
So then you're getting into it, and as I, mentioned to you, like it just seemed like there was some great players that you interacted with at an early age.
Yeah.
Early age for you and for them.
Yeah.
When you were developing your skills for developing players, like what did you first notice that you could really help players get to where they wanted to go? Like how did you come to that conclusion? Like, yeah, you know what? I have some skills and I can help these guys get to where they want to go.
Well, when I started working with them, I started looking at the because when I was a player, you back in the days. When I say back in the days, it's just my years as a player, because everything is different from now.
Hmm.
Like you have a short space to to learn and to develop. Like there's no gap to fail.
Right.
And the instruction back in days was like if you can hit it, you cannot play. Like that's it. Like you see it, hit it. It's still the same because if you cannot hit a ball, you cannot play baseball.
Right.
The same. But like let's start. They they don't go like very deep on the explanation on the way they talk to the players. Like we were young, you know.
Yeah.
Younger player have a really the stress is real. The because when you start playing, the stress level is really high.
Right.
Yeah. Hmm.
So you have to know how to handle that. And when I start working with the Yankees, I start notice this when this new wave of analytics and new tools of development came to Dominican. Uh, I realized that that was a really good option to show the guys to try to teach them how to learn about it and make their way like their way to the to US easy.
Mm.
The way they talk to the coaches, the way they understand the terms and everything better. So yeah.
Now, go ahead, Johnny. You were going to say something.
Um, with with being a ball player comes a lot of adversity, a lot of failure. The successes are, it's a little harder to come by. But when you have some players that are, going through some adversity, how do you usually deal with some guys that are more headstrong than others? How do you usually talk to him about like things it's a little bit different in the big leagues. So yeah, talk me through that a little bit. How you would break that down.
Well, like I say, I think the analytics and all the information that we have now in baseball came to let the player know that even if they fail, because if you fail a land drive with 100 miles per hour ball hit it, so you didn't fail. You did
No.
well.
Right.
So, but there's sometimes this guy go 0 for 3 with a really good contact, and they start looking down, and but what they really doesn't know is that they didn't fail for development. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a guy who hit the ball frequently, hard.
Right.
No, doesn't matter if the ball drops, if it's a double, if it's a home run, if you hit a land drive hard, and if it's out, that's okay. You're doing the job. You're doing whatever they
Right.
want you to do.
Right. I remember seeing an analytic. It was the hard hit. We've talked about it a little bit, Dad, about the hard hit rate percentage, and the major leaguers were all these outs that they were accumulating, like how hard were they hit and were they line drives, and like you said, I don't think you can classify that as a failure if you're putting great contact, you're making great contact, and it's just not going your way. It's like an unlucky stat, but
Right.
yeah, that's got to be really tough to tell your players like you're still doing your job, but you're just a little unlucky. That's just kind of how it is.
Some players like Juan Soto, who I think he has the best approach, certainly as a young player. I mean, he came up, when he was 19 to the major leagues? 19, 20?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I've never seen anybody that young have such an advanced approach. Like, when we watch him hit, I know everybody gets excited about the Soto shuffle, and we love it too. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch, especially only if you're the fan of the team. If you're against him, you probably don't like it too much. But when he came over, Johnny and I, because we're Yankees fans, my parents, they were born like a mile and grew up a mile from Yankee Stadium, so we had no choice. I mean, we were just born in Yankees fans and continue to this day, even though they frustrate us sometimes. But we watched him the whole year, and we were amazed.
Just long at bats, yeah.
Just he was he rarely gave at bats away. Was he that well known, like when he was 15, 16, 17 over there in the Dominican?
Yeah, I think Juan Soto is one in a while. Like is like we said it in Spanish, like first thing on the phrase, but it's like the goal in the mind, like something different. Like you can find one player like that every 10,000 player, something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But he always shows his skill, like the tools. He overhit the ball well,
Right.
and he got something that most of the thing works with in development down here in DR, which is play discipline. I think that's one of the biggest focus on the hitting department for most of the team. That happened with the Yankees, happened with the Marlins too. When I saw that with the Marlins, and during my interview with the Phillies, like I said before, we talked about it, and it's kind of the same.
Yeah, the advanced approach, that approach where you're grinding out at bats, that you're not giving away at bats, you're not giving in to the pitcher, you have command of the strike zone. You're one of my favorite Yankees coming up, and I think you had some interaction with them, and I don't think the Yankees handled him too well in New York, but he was great when he came from the DR, and that's Miguel Andujar. I mean, I loved him when he came up. I think he was the Yankees' best hitter his rookie year.
I
He hit like
remember
298.
I remember him because when I went with the Yankees, he was tryout. He signed up my last year.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a really a lot of conversation about it, and he he shows what he was like. He was because he came from a poor city, and when you see some player like that, like he's developed, he strong arm, hit the ball well, can run. He he was a really nice player back in his tryouts days, and when he become pro, he made for me the something close to impossible, which is become one of the top prospect of the Yankees. Like I say, Jason Dominguez is one of the kind too.
Right.
He's because I remember I met Jason when he signed. I was part of the staff team with the Yankees, and he's still the same. Like what you see right there in the pics
Right.
is what we saw here in DR. Like he's a Martian, like as
Yeah.
like
Like
he's
they-
calling himself.
Right.
He is. Is because it's impressive when you see somebody hitting really hard both side of the plate,
Right.
That's
throwing the ball hard, and with the physique he has,
he's yeah.
it's really amazing. He's strong. He was. I mean, you just what you see in the big leagues is literally what we saw here in DR. It's the same. Nothing
Right.
changed, and
Nothing
that
changed.
I think that's his biggest challenge because it is to keep maintain his body like that because
Right, yeah.
he's just got like his body limit is just right there.
Is he a better center fielder than a corner fielder? I know he had
I-
a little trouble in left field late in the season.
I think he's a better center field. He can move really well in
Very
the
fast.
This, he's fast.
right.
Definitely.
Fast.
Definitely.
We saw that, and
Yeah.
I thought, wow,
He can definitely run. I saw him running the 60 yards and he 6'4", and I was like, damn.
oh wow,
6'4",
okay, so
wow.
yeah, oh boy, I can't wait to see him because I think he's going to take center field, and I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to re-sign Soto, but I think they need to move Judge
That's
to
a
the
really
corner.
good fight right now.
I know. That's,
Uh,
I don't know. I think the Mets have a lot of money. The Dodgers have to have run out of money.
Red
I don't know
Sox,
who-
isn't it?
I think Boston is hustling really well.
They are. They
Yeah.
want him bad. They
They
want
want him
him,
bad.
and they want, I think, Corbin Burns. They want a big
Yeah.
pitcher, and they want they want him next to Devers in the lineup, and that would be devastating. That they would definitely be back in the top of that league. But so you saw Jason. So he's the same as he was there. So he just like these once in a blue moon type players, every once in a while players. The one that surprised us was the pitcher for the Yankees.
Luis Hill.
Yeah,
Luis
Yeah.
Hill, wow.
It was he. I don't know what I don't really know why the Minnesota trade him
right.
because his first live bullpen with us, everybody was like, why they trade him? He was 97, 98, nasty slider,
Nasty.
really
yeah.
good changeup, really good command. And we were like, why? I'm still asking about it myself.
Right.
Like, why they trade it? But, baseball things.
I think he's
Yeah.
so young. He started off like a house of fire this year, just striking out everybody. Great command, and then he hit a little bit of a lull, which a lot of the young pitchers who aren't used to throwing that many innings, right? And then he came back. Then he figured it out, and he pitched well at the end. So he had a little bit of a lull. I think, obviously, he looked healthy at the end of the year, but I think with that pitching a little bit longer than he probably had early in his young career, I think the sky's the limit for that guy. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he has a great mentor in Cole. I think Garrett Cole really likes him a lot. So we're really excited about him. When we saw him this year, we were really excited to watch him take the ball every fifth day. And you
Yeah,
had some
because
interaction with him.
When you have a pitcher that can get the top speed, like with a high spin breaking ball, really good change of command. I think his only challenge is to reduce the walk. So
Right.
Definitely.
that's something that came with the package. He needs some time to
Right.
do a
Definitely.
job. We're
Now on
talking
the
about a 21 years pitcher.
yeah
I think so.
Yeah.
on the development side, I know you know TrackMan and Blast, and you do a lot of video editing. Tell me, like, which of the new technologies do you like? Which ones are still maybe I don't even know about, or like, where are you at with the technologies to help Rapsodo, TrackMan, Blast, all this stuff? Like, do you use it every day or just occasionally?
Well, during my time with the Yankees, that was my first year with the Yankees. It was the first time like a team bring a TrackMan to DR. So we started learning about it, and we knew it was really a good thing because we start guessing about a good pitch and start being objective of what we're really looking at. Like we know it's a good pitch because of this or that. So now everything changed. Baseball changed because of that. Then they bring some Rapsodos, uh, blast motion, heat tracks. They bring a lot. And with the Marlins, we use it every day. Like
Oh,
no player hit a ball without a TrackMan. No player throw a ball without a TrackMan. So we track everything, everything.
and do you
Yeah.
share it with the player? How do you use it when you track it?
We give it to the coaches, and the coaches share with the players sometimes. And that's where, because I spent, I don't know if you saw in my resume, I spent 2 years working as a teacher with the Yankees, but in baseball terminology, I was a baseball terminology teacher, something like that, because that was when the Yankees decide to teach the player about the new technology, like what does numbers mean, and they bring me to the department, and I was able to teach some of the players how to talk to the coaches in the states. So how to every time a coach says something about spin rate, they know what they're talking about. Every time a coach says something about launch angle, they know what they're talking about, and the meaning of the word. So now it's a really big challenge for the coaches. Like being
Right.
coached here is a big challenge because most of the big prospect in Dominican Republic doesn't even know how to read. It's a really good challenge for the coach because you know how to talk to them first to make him understand you.
Right.
So
Yep.
I remember you asked me about how's the development down here and where the focus is, and that's the main focus, like mental and education is because
Mental and education. Okay.
they sign it at a really young age. So
And another player I just came to mind is kind of taking the league by storm is Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, to see such an amazing talent of his at that age, and to still learn throughout as he's playing. Where did you see any kind of interaction or development like when he was over there?
I didn't met Ellie, but the kind of player he is the kind of diamond you can find here. Like a guys with raw tools, like with a above average arm, above average speed, who can really hit the ball. Because you can compare him with O'Neill De La Cruz too.
O'Neal, yeah.
Neil Cruz, sorry, the shortstop of the he was playing
Pirates.
short field with the Pirates.
Right, yeah.
If you put them like one they're together, like you can see the same player.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
very similar.
And having said that, that's the diamond that a scout looking for here,
Right.
because that's the diamond you can find. Because once they click, like once they got it, they can become a really superstar. like what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, definitely. And they're also very young as well, as we were
Yeah.
mentioning. I mean, that's incredible. And to see them, as they sign very young, usually, I know the Leo DeVry, I think he's the Padres, Samuel Zavala, a couple others, I believe, have done. They go over for the academy, and I mean, I know it's got to be very tough being playing at that age, and then you come over here, and it's a little bit different. It's a different ball game,
It is.
I'll say for
It is.
sure.
It seems like a bottomless pit in the Dominican Republic for talent. It just seems like it's never ending. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that obviously it's compared to the U.S., it's a smaller, populace. But I mean, does everybody play baseball over there? It just is amazing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like I said, if you got a bug, the first toy is a bat and a ball. Because I remember, I got a picture. I gotta ask my father about it, of the picture of me and Francisco, where he won the batting title here.
Right.
I was just 5 years old, so, and I was kind of sleeping in the picture, but my father wake me up just to pause right next to him for the picture, because
Right.
it was amazing.
That's awesome.
And yeah, there's a lot of kids. They start playing at a really young age, and the thing that you probably see that the last 10 years in the big league, it's not only Dominican, like camps with Venezuela, Colombia, and a lot of Latin America. Because down here, they don't only have Dominican, they have every Latin player.
Right.
So, because for example, Venezuela is developing really, really well.
Right. Great players.
The comparison with Venezuela and Dominican is kind of the same right now, of the quality of the players. So, but yeah, you can see kids with 12 years old facing 19 years old pitcher, which is not common in the States.
Right.
Like you play at your level, because if you're in college, I don't know too much about baseball in the States, but I know something, because if you play at college, you're gonna play at college. So the
Right.
level, the age range is kind of the same, but here is way different.
Right.
That's the reason, because I was doing some research. That's the reason why the last 10 years, the first five guys who debuted in MLB were Latin players at a really young age, like
Right.
20, 21. Some of them are 19.
So when they're 16, they're used to facing 19-year-olds.
Yeah, because that's the reason. Because when they sign at 16 years old, they start playing with guys with 20 years. Here, you can face a pitcher with a 20 years old pitcher
Wow.
who is a change. Like, because sometimes teams needs pitchers. So if you got the tools, you can command pitchers. Then the age is not a challenge for a pitcher.
Right.
For a pitcher, but for a position player is different. But so that's the reason why they start playing at the high level here.
Gotcha.
That's
And so
that's amazing.
you told us that, and you mentioned about the Phillies. Can you share with us what you're doing now and how excited you are about getting started with the Phillies?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be starting as a assistant hitting development coach, which is a hitting coach, but in paper is a hitting coach, but I'll be assigned to the Dominican to in the hitting department, teach the player, be an extra hand for the Phillies to keep helping them to learn more on the hitting sides and the analytics too. So yeah,
Okay. And that starts.
I'll start next year.
next year, early
Very
next year.
nice. All right.
Okay, great. I mean, that's exciting. We're excited
Yeah.
to
I'm
hear
excited.
more about that. Yeah, yeah. How far away are the facilities?
From me,
from where you
from
are
my
now?
house is like 25 minutes. I'm pretty close to the, because most of the facility are located in Boca Chica,
Okay.
which is in the east part of the DR, and I live
You're
in
in
the
Santo
east part.
Domingo?
I live in Santo Domingo, but in the east part.
In the east part, okay.
But
Okay.
I live really close to the academy. Most of the academies are located on Boca Chica. Only San Diego Padres and Oakland Athletics, they are located in different locations,
Right.
but most of the academy we in the same street. So
Same
you
street.
can drive and you can see Phillies, Twins,
Tomorrow in
Yankees,
Huntsville,
everybody.
there will be lots of
Wow,
sun
Johnny.
with a high of
Johnny, you
30%
imagine
and a low of
spending a
20%.
vacation and just watching, just driving from place to place?
There's a lot
I'd
of
love to.
tourists that come to the academy. Like there's tours that bring on a bus. They just made the road to see all the academies because
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be incredible. That would be
Yeah.
like a dream vacation for
I would
me.
love to. Yeah.
I better
I
learn how to
really-
speak Spanish though. That's for sure.
Hey, learn with me, Dad. I'm currently trying to learn a little bit. No, but I've seen some footage of some of the Winter League games. Could you break down some of how the Winter League works? I know a lot of the MLB guys come over and get some games in before the season or before they go into spring training. Does anybody from the academy? Do they get to come in those games and play as well, or how does that kind of work?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
The Dominican Winter League.
Okay. So you want me to talk about the Winter League?
Yeah. So I know a lot of the guys in the major leagues over here. They'll come over if they're from there usually, and they'll play some games. Does anybody from the academy get to interact? They get to play together. How does that usually work?
Well, it's different because like Winter League here, for you to have the chance to play, you have you have to be in a high level, like high A.
Okay.
So after you get a high A, the team can draft you, and so that's basically the process. If you made a team, you go to they call it Paralela League, which is the league where they start developing and choosing the guys who are gonna be playing.
Okay.
But the guys here in the academy cannot play in Winter League. That's the reason why our Winter League is one of the hardest because
Right.
you have a really high level of players here.
Wow.
Okay.
So they turn players away. They want to play and they just don't have room for them, or they're not good enough, or
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
You know, because if you got like, for example, if you have Eli De La Cruz playing shortstop, one of the team, and you got another shortstop, which is a top prospect with other team, who you gonna choose to play? You got a big league or a prospect?
Right.
You want you want a big league guy
Big league,
playing
yeah.
with you. You know, something with the marketing. You know,
Right.
kind
That
of the
makes
same
sense.
with the big league. So,
Right. Yeah. That.
Right.
but
that-
it's fun, and because I worked 2 years with a Winter League team too,
right.
and the preparation of the players is really different. Like they way ahead.
They
Like,
are.
Yeah.
And when you
Definitely.
got young kids interacting with the MLB players, they start looking at them and they start knowing that it's not that was not only looking. They got prepared. They have their time to prepare and to play
Right.
at a really high level.
Do they do a lot of lifting year round? Like, are they doing a lot of weight training and stuff like that, or is it less there than
Winter
other
League
places?
or academy?
Academy.
Well, with the academy, that's the main focus.
It is okay.
Like lifting, eat, education. I think if we make a priority list, I think lift is the first. Education came next. Then you got mental health, and then you got the preparation on the field. Because you bring young guys with a bad I don't know how to say this, but like with the food they eat at home is not the same they eat at the academy. Like the quality and the
Right.
quantity is not the same.
Right.
Most of the guys, so they start eating better, lifting more because most of them doesn't know how to lift,
Right.
which is the difference of the American players. Because I know they focus on their physique. They know they have to be ready physically to develop on the field. Players here thinks most of them, I can say that they just hit because, but it's not it's not a like it's not common. They gotta be ready first physically. They gotta develop their physique, eat well, sleep well, and then start practicing to
Right.
develop better.
That's great. That's great. And
Yeah,
what's
that's
the
awesome.
earliest age that a player will get into the academy?
Sir,
What's the earliest age?
16. They
16.
signed. Yeah, they signed once they got 16. I remember they changed that. Some of them signed 16 and some of 3 or 4 months, just because they changed the date. Because it was July 2nd, the sign day before the pandemic. After
Right.
pandemic, they changed it to January 15th. So every 15th of January, you're gonna see a lot of. You can go through the news and see DR papers, and all what you're gonna see is the sign players, because signing bonus. The teams spend a lot of money here,
Right.
and all not Latin Americans. So
Speaking of money,
Mhm.
so from when you started to where you are now, like how much more money are the MLB and even the academies that are not? I would assume there are academies that are not run by major league teams. There's other academies. How much money is put into this compared to when you start?
all right, first, all the academies are managed by MLB team, like
Oh, they are all of them. Okay,
all the pro academy.
all the
There's a
pros.
lot of amateur academy where the players came from.
Right.
So we
So
call
like
it
13,
where
14
the
club.
Buscones are. So the players start practicing and where they get signed.
Gotcha.
What a lot. The different like is a really big change because now you got Jason Dominguez who signed for 5.1 million. Uh, but he's for now he's the top. Oh no, we got Ethan Sala. I think he signed for 5.6. He's a
See the
Venezuela
catcher?
catcher from Padres.
Johnny told me
He
about
was
him,
young, yeah. He's got a powerful arm.
Yeah, he's he's a phenom. He's a really phenom in catching position. And
Tell-
Oh, yeah.
his brother signed with the Twins,
Yeah.
and the other brothers, I think he's gonna sign with the Marlins too.
Okay.
His younger brother.
Oh, he's got two brothers.
They all in baseball. They like Acuña's family and Guerrero's family. They all play.
Right.
That's
Can you
amazing,
give us
yeah.
can you give us someone that you're comfortable with telling us, someone that's young that we should watch out for? It could be any of the MLB teams, just somebody just like, you know what? You may not have heard of this guy unless you're reading those magazines deep into the pages. Tell me a player or two that you go, yeah, just watch out for this guy. He's really starting to come on. Anybody stand out? I know there's a lot of them.
There's a lot. But when I went with the Yankees, I got the must because they signed a lot of player low budget, who I really know that they're gonna do it really well. Um, David Garcia, he was a starter for the Yankees.
Right.
When he was in the minors, he was a phenom.
Right.
He's short pitcher who
Right,
can
I've
really throw the ball hard, really spin the ball. I know he signed with White Sox now
Right.
for the next year. I think he got a deal with the White Sox, which is really good for him. And you got Ezequiel Duran.
Okay.
You know him?
No.
He was an utility for Texas.
Okay.
Oh, Ezekiel Duran. Yeah.
Yes, Duran. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
He was
Yeah.
with,
Yeah.
he signed with the Yankees first contract as an amateur player. He signed for $10K.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, and when he came to the academy, I remember his first game as a pro. He went 5 for 4, but he's demolished the ball.
Right.
He really hit the ball really hard, and I say like this guy gonna make it. I remember when they traded him, Texas, and I think he's gonna get a chance because
Right.
he was playing a position with the Yankees that it's gonna be tough for him to get it.
Right.
Because you got Oswaldo Cabrera. I saw him when he was here. A
Right.
phenomenal player,
Right.
a really good person.
Yes.
So here,
Yeah, it
Andres
comes across.
Chaparro. Andres Chaparro is a Venezuelan third baseman who was playing first with the national. He made his debut this year with the national.
Right.
But yeah, Carlos Narvaez. I think he's gonna get a chance with the Yankees because he's a really good catcher. He was one of the fastest. He didn't have the stronger arm that he have right now, but when he was here in the DR, nobody can steal the base. Like his movement was so fast. He moved. His footwork was really well. And his exchange
Right.
was so fast that nobody can make it. He throw the ball like one drop, like one hop to the second base, but nobody can get it. Like
Right.
it was really fast.
Made a good
Now
jump.
he's
Yeah.
hitting. Now he's hitting.
Now he's
It's
hitting.
a plus for a catcher.
Right. Like you said, you know, if you can hit, you can, you have to hit. You know, unless you're a catcher, you can get away with it a little bit, right? That's the one position you probably can get
Yeah,
by with not hitting a lot.
I know with the scout looking for a catcher here, the main thing is the defense
Right. Yeah.
coming with the arm, and the last thing is the last two things are hitting and running. But if you can hit as a catcher and you can and you can defense, you can throw to the second well, you got a chance no matter what.
Right. Right.
Because we limit
sure.
it by catcher here in DR.
Right.
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
Johnny and I we're just so excited to have you on tonight. Like we're just, thrilled. We knew that we would learn so much from your experience over there in the DR and the academies and the development and all that. And it was even more than we thought we'd learn. So we really appreciate it. I know our audience will love it too. We got some really loyal listeners that tell us. I told a few of them, that you were coming on, and they were, very excited about it. So, thank you so much.
We
And
do
we want
really
to stay in
appreciate
touch
it.
with
Yeah.
you, and and just kind of hear about what's going on with the Phillies, and then maybe we can do this again.
I'm very excited to see the talent come out of the DR. We're really pumped.
Appreciate it, guys.
Hey, thanks for watching and listening to our interview with Guillermo Matos. We really appreciate it. And remember to like and subscribe. It really helps us out to grow the channel. We're up over 7,800 subscribers on YouTube. So
Thank
please
you all.
please give us some comments. Let us know what you want to see next. And also check out the new beanies. They just came in. You can get yours in the description down below. You can look for the links. And thanks again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.